Meet Felix, a curious orange tabby, and his best friend Luna, a sassy white cat. They lived a rather ordinary life, filled with naps, treats, and the occasional dust bunny chase. But deep down, these two felines yearned for something more, an adventure beyond their wildest dreams. One particularly slow afternoon, while contemplating the mysteries of the litter box, Felix had an epiphany. Not just any epiphany, mind you, but one that involved time, space, and a certain rectangular container. Together, with pause and ingenuity, they transformed their humble litter box. It was no longer just a place for business, but a gleaming, whirring, time-traveling marvel, ready to whisk them to any epoch they desired. Or, at least, that was the plan. With a deep breath and a final meow of determination, Felix pressed the button. The litter box roared to life, a swirling vortex of light and sound erupting around it. The cats braced themselves, ready for their grand temporal adventure. When the dust settled, they weren't in ancient Egypt, nor were they in the futuristic cityscape they'd envisioned. No, they had landed squarely in the age of colossal beasts and towering foliage. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and something else. Something very, very big. Suddenly, a shadow fell over them. Not a playful shadow from a passing bird, but a colossal, earth-shaking, terrifying shadow. A Tyrannosaurus Rex, with eyes like amber and a roar that could curdle milk, had found its new playthings. Panic set in, but only for a moment. These weren't just any house cats. They were Felix and Luna, and they always came prepared. Felix remembered the secret stash of emergency supplies, tucked neatly into their custom-made adventure backpack. First, the laser pointer. Who knew a prehistoric predator had such an affinity for a tiny red dot? The mighty T-Rex, once a symbol of primal fear, was now a giant, clumsy cat batting at an elusive red light, its roar replaced by a bewildered grumble. It was working. Next, Luna took charge, deploying their most potent weapon, premium organic catnip. She laid a tantalizing trail leading to a conveniently narrow cave opening. The T-Rex, already bewildered by the laser, was now completely overwhelmed by the irresistible aroma. The plan worked perfectly. The T-Rex, eager for more catnip and perhaps a few crunchy treats, wedged itself firmly into the cave, a comical sight of prehistoric might brought low by feline cunning. It was trapped, distracted, and utterly harmless. With their temporary dino dilemma solved, Felix and Luna wasted no time. They scrambled back into their trusty time-traveling litter box, eager to return to their own time, their own comfy beds, and their own much smaller predators. Back home, surrounded by their familiar comforts, Felix and Luna were safe and sound. They had faced a T-Rex and lived to tell the tale, or rather, purr the tale. Their adventure had ended, but the bond between this adventurous tabby and his sassy white friend, forged in the fires of prehistoric danger, would last a lifetime. And who knew what their next litter box journey might bring?